Good morning, everybody. This is Hot Rod Bob, and you've got Gas, the morning edition. And thank you for tuning in. Last night we had our first Gas evening show. Well, our second evening Gas show, actually. And we're on Zoom. So Tuesday nights, just plan on joining us at 6 p.m. It's free! You can get into the chat and join us on a Zoom Gas meeting Tuesday night, 6 p.m. I'll post the link every week to make it easy for everyone just to join in with us. We had people as far away as Texas joining us last night, and it's great. Hi, Carol. How are you today? Good to see you, Alan and Rob Pratt. Well, racing is starting up again. That's right. As we've seen on TV, NASCAR has been racing. No spectators, but they've been racing, and the people at home get to watch it. Not a problem. Doesn't matter if there's anyone in the stands if you're watching it on TV anyway. So who cares? It's racing. Racing is racing. What they do on the track has nothing to do with who's sitting in the stands. But what happens is the guys that are putting on the race have to be able to cover the costs of the race. And therein lies the problem. Without spectators, the track does not make money. The track does not cover its costs. Any track cover its costs with entry fees from racers. Now, Irwindale is opening up this Saturday. Test and tune on Saturday, Summit Racing and Junior Dragsters on Sunday. No spectators. Limit 100 race cars. 100 race cars? That's not even going to cover the cost of staffing. No spectators. One crew person per car. Now, that's going to be the interesting part. How do you go to a junior drag race, if you've been in a junior drag race before, and tell mom she's got to stay home, or tell dad she's got to stay home, or brothers and sisters that are always there to support the kids, you've got to stay home? They're already seeing these people and living with these people. Not sure how that's going to work. I'm not going to be part of it. Irwindale is going to be operating on a schedule that is using as little amount of personnel as possible to hold down costs. So, PA system will be silent, as far as I know. I'm not going to be there. I'm hoping they have a great turnout. I hope the racing is good, and people need to get back to living life. Now, whether your opinion on this is good, bad, indifferent, scared, as we probably mostly are, that's not the issue. We got to get back to normal. We've got to bring ourselves back, and I'm not sure what the answer is. For some people, you don't go out of the house without a mask on. For others, Hello, Scott. John Mullen, good morning to you as well. Brett Fisher. It'd be nice if they could do a live feed. You know what? They could do a live feed. It's just going to require someone to have a camera focused on the track. But all you would see is cars. And you would only see them doing either a burnout or leaving the starting line. You'd have to have the technology to use multiple cameras to get and have someone directing and operating the camera. Hi, Chris Costanza. How are you doing? You're going to be out there this weekend, I'm pretty sure, at Irwindale for the Junior Dragster race. It's not impossible to do a stream or a live feed. It's just you need to have someone that has the technology and has the equipment. Thanks, Chris. I'm going to miss being there as well. You know what? It's tough not doing racing. It's been my life, so I'm stuck, kind of, not being there. I'm not going to be home. Hi, Steve Gibbs. How are you doing today? Nitro Revival coming up soon. Or not soon, but it's coming up this fall, and I hope everything can be there. Now, Steve, unfortunately, I'm not going to be at the track on Saturday. They're not going to have me there. They're using a skeleton staff. So I'm going to miss the race on Saturday. Unless I get a call otherwise. At this point, we're going to do an antivirus cruise. Up here in Ventura, we are gathering to get together for a cruise with one of the car clubs I belong to up here. And last time we had about 40 cars. Last week I was with the Road Kings. We had 142 cars doing a cruise through the city of Burbank for our first responders. And that is what seems to be a lot of what's going on right now. A lot of people are doing these cruises. Social distancing by staying a car length apart. And they're having fun. They're driving their cars again. And that's an important thing. Not only is it mentally satisfying because you get out to get in your car, but you know what? Seeing the people, we had people on their lawns waving and cheering us as we drove by. The first responders all coming out and watching us drive by. It was an amazing feeling. I can't explain, if you haven't done this, how good it feels inside. And Alan is saying that there's going to be some autocrossing in Fontana. So things are starting to pick up again. Mark McGeorge is watching us. How you doing, guy? The feeling of seeing people enjoying our cars. And that's half the fun of having these great-looking old cars and hot rods, is not only the enjoyment of driving this history, but the enjoyment of other people enjoying seeing us. And that is mentally stimulating and something we need to keep in touch with. We need to keep doing. Regardless of whether you're staying at home or not, you need to have something that gets you out of a mental funk. Between the virus and the unrest that's going on, people are afraid. They're scared. They need something that's reassuring, that's consistent, that's constant, that is something that they relied on in the past that make them feel comfortable. Hi, Bobby Z. And Merrick, how are you doing this morning? So the car cruises are part of it. Now, I'm not sure what's going to happen in the LA area with car cruises right now, whether or not they will take place. We're doing one in Ventura, and there's others scheduled to happen. I'm also organizing one for the early Ford V8 clubs that we'll be doing later on this month. So we're still doing things. We have been lucky enough not to be affected by the unrest and the virus itself up here in the Ventura area. Yes, there are people that have tested positive, and there are people that have gotten sick. There's no question about that, and no one's disputing that. But the numbers have not been significant enough to justify the radical lockdowns we've been seeing in many areas. Our restaurants and our beaches are opened up. Restaurants opened up this week. Beaches opened up the previous week. They relaxed the restriction on staying still while you're on the beach, so people can now sunbathe and enjoy the beautiful beaches we have here in Ventura, all the way up even into Santa Barbara. Santa Barbara's been open for a little bit longer, so it's been fun. Bobby C says, Wednesday night cruise in Huntington Beach, Main Street, downtown, 7:30 p.m. Do it. Get down there if you can. I know Johnny Martinez and I went down, and we were part of it. It was great. Hi, Bob Martin. Turn my lights on. Okay, I can, but then I fade out. See what happens when I turn the lights on? So it's a little dingy in here. Yes, I know. And even my wife is watching. See, it's a consistent thing. She watches. She knows where I am. She can tell where I'm at. She knows where I'm at all times. I don't need an electronic ankle monitor for her to know where I'm at. She finds me every morning at 11 a.m. right here on Facebook. And as I said, we're going to do the Tuesday evening gas. We're bringing it back once a week now. Now, it hasn't been a weekly show for about 2 years, but it hasn't been on at all since March. We brought it back. And you can become part of the audience. That's right. We're doing it on Zoom video, Zoom messaging, where you can get into it. Cassie Nunez was part of it last night. And Richard, he's watching us right now. He was part of it last night, all the way from Texas. So we do appreciate that. And I love his bucket. It's not a T bucket. It's a Dodge. And it's all Mopar, which is cool. Except for the front axle, Richard, I did notice that's a Ford. We'll let that go by. It's a cool car. Yvonne is watching us now. How are you this morning, Yvonne? She puts on a great show, or did, and hopefully the show will go back soon. At this point, many shows are being canceled or delayed or postponed. So we're hoping things clear up to the point where we can get some car shows back. I miss going to car shows. The part I miss about car shows is meeting and seeing and greeting friends and making new ones. And that's something we do at all car shows. I've got friends from all over. Richard, I met him at Grand Nationals this last year. We know each other from Facebook. This has been a great venue for me to meet and greet and become friends with people. Hi, Kimberly. How are you doing this morning? So we keep doing that. And I started doing the morning gas because Johnny Martinez, the famed pinstriper, told me I had to get out of my funk. I was recovering from surgery, and this is what I started doing, the morning gas. And I'll tell you what, it's great having a conversation with you guys. And that's what I wanted to talk to you about. Now, right now, I can see your comments. And occasionally I can respond. I can say hi. I see Kimberly comes on. Alan's now on. And I can say hello to you. Cassie will post a note, and I'll read that back, and we'll talk about it a little bit. But what we can do, and hi, Rebecca, is we can do this on Zoom video. Doesn't cost you anything. All you got to do is log on. I can do this on Zoom video. We will see everybody. We can hear everybody, and we can talk, and we can chat. Now, I did that on the show last night. We had some pretty good conversation. But I can also do this in the morning, and we can do a Zoom video. I will record it, and then for those who missed it, it will be played back on YouTube. And Two Tired Guys Productions has their own YouTube channel now, so we can put that into that for you. Now, Tom Berger's saying your cars need to be driven. Yep, sitting around causes oil leaks and everything else as things dry out and harden out. And, I got to get going. My coupe hasn't been out of the garage since Cruising for a Cure in September. So I've got to get it out. We got to get it driving. Peg's car hasn't been out since that time either, as a matter of fact. It's been in the garage. I'm going to get it out, get it running. It is running. It's just a matter of getting it out and driving it a little bit. And we'll do that for the V8 Ford event. Skip Davis is there with us as well. But this is what we're going to do. Now, I'd like to do the Zoom video. And that's up to you guys. I know it's easy for you just to log on to Facebook. But I can do the Zoom, and we can all be on together, and we can actually see each other face to face. It's up to you. Let me know what your comments are. Post them here on Facebook when I post this. And let me know what you think. If more people would like me to do the Zoom video rather than the Facebook video that I'm doing right now, I'm all for it. Again, it's free. There's no additional cost to you guys. It's just a matter of clicking on a link outside of Facebook and joining in. You can voice your comments. We can have actual conversations back and forth. And Rebecca says she's at work, so it's not really the easiest thing to do. I understand that. And I really don't want to lose people like you, Rebecca, from watching us, so I can continue on with this. And the other thing I can do is, excuse me, I can do it simultaneously. I can do a Zoom, and I can do Facebook at the same time. I have that capability. I am technically challenged, but I can multitask, and I can do that. Hi, Rex. How you doing? Either one, Bob, just as long as we get to hear you. Yeah, you'll hear me all right. As a matter of fact, my neighbors are hearing me right now. And anyway, but that's it. We can do it that way. And Chris, we can do it from the track, too. You can wear your helmet. There you go. And you make car noises. All right. And Rebecca says she enjoys listening at 11 o'clock, which is something easy to do. And you can listen to the Zoom as well. You can get it on your phone. We can do it. It's no more difficult than doing Facebook. The difference is I won't see comments. Well, you can on Zoom. You can type in comments. You can type in questions on Zoom. We can have not only the video chat, but you can put on your messages as well on Zoom. And if you'd like to give it a try to see if it works for you, I'll tell you what. Next Tuesday night, 6 p.m., I'll post the link, and you guys can get on there. Kimberly Fischelli, my thoughts on a 2012 Mini Cooper. Get an extended warranty. They're not reliable cars. They are good when they're new, but when they get older, they end up having problems. And you got to remember, Mini Cooper is now built by BMW. You're going to be paying BMW prices for repairs. And Mini Coopers, if you go online, look at some of the comments on their history and on their repairability, and you're going to see that the Minis are not the most reliable daily driver to have out there. And Rebecca says she wishes she could get my boss to let her talk. Yeah, I understand that. But again, we can do Zoom. You can just listen. All you got to do is click on the link and become part of it. You don't have to talk with us. You can listen just like you're listening now. The only difference between Zoom and doing a Facebook Live is I can record it to play it back at a later date. I can save it. Once I do these, it's lost. I cannot save these. I cannot repost them unless I keep sharing them, but we lose them. Not a problem, Kimberly. With Zoom, we can save it as a video, an MP4. I can then put it on YouTube, and it can be accessed at any time. In the case of the Facebook, it's only on for a month, and then it's gone. I have no way of saving it. I have no way of downloading it as a video, and it's limited as to what I can do. And frankly, thinking about some of the things we've talked about, the topics and such. Yeah, Alan, the Minis are great little cars when they work, and you've got the right statement there. BMW has a reputation of building Bavarian money wasters, and that has happened with the Mini as well. Wire a Mini Cooper once, made my hips look bad. Yeah, they do. They kind of do that. But the Mini is not, you got to remember, these cars were not necessarily built specifically for the U.S. market. The expectations of cars built outside the U.S. are not necessarily in line with what our expectations are. Now, the Japanese cars have excellent reputations and good reliability, and that's something their home market demands. So we get the benefits of it. Kimberly says, you can record during your Zoom meeting. Yes, I can. And that's the benefit of doing Zoom, is I can record those, save them, put them on YouTube, and anyone can access them at any time. And I can also share it back to Facebook. That's the benefit of doing the Zoom. Rebecca says, I work in a BMW shop. My truck started leaking like they do. Yeah. Yeah, and I used to work for BMW corporate. I'm talking from personal experience here. I ran the customer relations department for the regional office of BMW. And I've heard them all. And I've seen all the issues that have happened. Hi, Doreen. How are you doing this morning? Thank you very much for the uplifting voice comment, Jerry. And I'll try and keep that going as well. Hi, Jean. How are you? And Doreen, we will never forget. So, yeah, you've seen my comments. You know how I feel about that, about the situation. It's been a year. We lost Tony Woods. And I saw Tony. I didn't become friends with him soon enough, in my opinion. Always loved the station wagon. When he finished it, man, I was blown away, as were every place and everyone that ever saw it after that. So he's definitely missed. I don't know what more I can say, Doreen. Heart goes out to you. We're here for you if you need. Dennis, good morning to you. And Jean, how are you this morning? And Robert, how are you? Ron Stearns is watching us here. Good morning to you, sir. So that's what I'm basically talking about today. I had a Zoom meeting, actually, with some friends in Sweden this morning. So I got to touch base with them. And Robin Millar, who's keeping Pete Millar's memory alive with drag cartoons and such. So we're loving it. We're using Zoom to keep in touch. We have family meetings with Zoom. We have meetings with Zoom. I'm in a car club that is based out of Spain, and we do a Zoom meeting every Monday and Thursday. It's been fun. I get to talk to a lot of people from all over the world, get their input on cars and what's going on, and I'm loving it. Alan, Mini was great in the first day of importing. Great sponsored events. Yes, they were. They got a little full of themselves. But again, Mini is part of BMW. So you've got to deal with the BMW aspect of it. And to give you some background on that, BMW's history, and I know we're getting off track here, but why not? BMW, we're bringing up the Minis. Let's talk about it. BMW and Mini come from two separate entities initially. Mini was designed in Great Britain as an economy car. And Rob Pratt, let's see, Ron's listening to you here on Facebook at 11 a.m., but we'll watch this when I get the chance. Well, I appreciate that, Rob, and that's one of the benefits of going to Zoom, too, is we can repost it and you can still listen to it at the same time. Paul Whitehouse Art is watching. All right, so the BMW started out as a kind of a sports car luxury machine. During World War II, they were building engines. After World War II, they were decimated. Germany was really literally brought to their knees, their factories destroyed. BMW came back with economy cars. That's what was needed. They had the 700 sedans, they had the Isetta. They had some luxury cars that were not selling well for obvious reasons after World War II. They started going into more performance and sport coupes and sports sedans, and they started to expand. When I went to work for them, they were selling probably 30,000 or so in the U.S. Now they sell over 1 million vehicles. They produce them here in the U.S. as well as in Germany. During the downturn in the British automotive market, the marquees got sold off. Volkswagen, BMW bought up a lot of the British brands. Ford bought Jaguar for a while, and they sold it off. Now an Indian company owns it. General Motors divested themselves of some of their British holdings. They built cars in Britain as well. So Britain was once the powerhouse of Europe as far as building cars. There were so many different brands being produced in Great Britain. And now what is being built there is limited. And in many cases, the Brits no longer own those companies. They're owned by other businesses in other countries, such as Rover. Well, Rover sold off their brands. Rover was part of a major British group that tried to formulate, much like General Motors did. Didn't last very long. So you have MG, Triumph, Rover, Jaguar, McLaren, and others in Britain, Vauxhall and such, that are now independent entities. Volkswagen, I forget what they own. I believe they own Bentley. They own one of the Italian sports car companies as well. They were part of Porsche for a long time. They have Bugatti. Volkswagen is a very, very large corporation and a multinational corporation. BMW is as well. BMW got the Mini. They got Rolls-Royce. Volkswagen got Bentley. Now, with the return of the Mini Cooper and the Mini, BMW brought that back. Yeah, BMC was the organization before. It was British Motor Corporation. And when I raced, one of the cars I raced was a little bug-eyed Sprite. And, man, I used to get support and parts from British Motor Works, BMC, all the time. As a matter of fact, I think I've got my BMC badge here someplace. Oh, well, it's here. But the current Mini is a retro vehicle. It was designed and built by the people at BMW. Now, it is built in Great Britain. It doesn't necessarily use British parts. And some of the engines are actually other companies. Yeah, Alan Seat was kind of associated with Fiat for a while. And they built some sport coupes in Italy. But they're not associated that I'm aware of with BMW at this point in time. But Minis are cool little cars. They're fast. They handle extremely well. They get excellent fuel mileage. But they're not built for a very long period of time. And I'm seeing that as a reliability issue once they're used. Excuse me. So the Mini, although it's a great car, what I've heard and what I've been reading is make sure if you buy a used one, you buy a very good service contract, basically what people call extended warranties. You'll need it. So that's something to think about. They're cute cars. They're comfortable cars. They handle great. They actually have pretty good crash safety. But they are maintenance nightmares at times. And that's something you've got to look at. I've thought about a Mini. I'd love to get a Mini. I drove one and I was really impressed with it. The fuel mileage, the handling, the performance. They're darn nice little cars. I can't afford to feed them if it's going to take a lot of repairs. So that's why I've shied away from them and stayed away this long. What I love, they were going to bring in the Mini panel truck for a while. Not a panel truck, but they took the station wagon and replaced the windows with solid metal pieces, and it became like a little panel van or sedan delivery. I really wanted one of those. They came out for a short time, but I don't think they went over well because they're very limited on space. And unlike they do in Britain, where these are quite popular, a service van of that size is not really desirable for many businesses. So they've gone with the larger Ford vans, little Ford Transit Connects, the smaller ones. Nissan's bringing in one. They're rebadging it for Chevrolet and so forth. So those are the ones that are actually selling. The Mini just missed the mark a bit. It was never a high-volume vehicle when it was originally produced in the early 60s and 70s, and now it's even less desirable based on what's out there already in a similar price range. But the Minis are fun cars. They're neat-looking cars. They're great handling cars. It's just you got to be careful about certain quirks they have in reliability. So check that out before you buy. And then if you do decide this is still the car you want to get, you've got one that you can buy one that is in very good condition. Just be careful. That's all. All right, I'm Hot Rod Bob. You've got Gas, the morning edition. We've gone on many different topics. But again, next Tuesday night, Gas, the evening edition, comes back. It'll be every Tuesday at 6 p.m. It'll be on Zoom, so you can become part of the audience. And then we will share it to Two Tired Guys Productions on YouTube. You can watch us on YouTube. Please, we're talking about cars, gas, all on YouTube now under Two Tired Guys Productions. Please go to Two Tired Guys Productions on YouTube. Subscribe. Doesn't cost you anything. You can become one of our members. Excuse me. Allergy season. Oh, I love it. So subscribe to our YouTube channel if you will. You'll get notifications of all our new shows, who we interview. We just did the guys from Car Kings, from GAAS, the Garage, Galpin Auto Sports. We've talked to a gentleman about retro cars and all the different places he's been. We've talked to some of the greats in automotive history. And we're putting that all on YouTube. So please join us at Two Tired Guys Productions on YouTube, talking about cars here on Facebook and YouTube, and GAAS, the Great American Auto Scene. You guys have a great day. GAAS, brought to you by the people at Beach Underwriting Associates, Irwindale Drag Strip, Irwindale Speedway, Moon Eyes, Tucker Tire, Valley Head Service, and Service Tech, where you can get all your garage needs. I'm Hot Rod Bob. You've got Gas, the morning edition. You have a great day. Please enjoy life. You know, it's the most important part. Live every day. Enjoy every day. Don't worry about what other people think. It's what you feel and what you think inside. Take care, folks. You have a great day.